This is a very important message for, the love lovers who are into, deep understanding of astrology. I would like you guys every year or every month, let's say every month, to make it more like a routine thing, right? So every month, just check the Lord of your seventh house, okay? And for those who have, the Lord of the seventh house being, those planets who are taking a long time to move, such as, certain Jupiter, then for you, it's like it's more like a 2-year thing if it's certain 2.5 years. And if it's Jupiter every year. So in my case, as you guys know, I'm a Gemini ascendant, so my seventh house lord is Jupiter. So for me, every year there's a significant change regarding my spouse, so it's easy every year for me. But then for other people it's like every month, because if it's like Venus, like it's like every month. And then for those whose seventh house is ruled by Mars, then every 2 months. Then for Moon, you guys, then for the Capricorns, it's like every 2 days. But it is very important to track for the analysis of what is happening to your relationship and how you can influence your relationship towards a better outcome, or a better understanding of it, and a better understanding of how your partner behaves in your relationship, and how you can react or respond towards those actions. For an example, for me, you guys, Gemini ascendant, right? As I said, seventh lord is what? Jupiter. And it is also my 10th lord, right, of father. And as you guys know, Jupiter is transiting in Taurus. And what has been 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks, my father passed away. Because what? Because the 10th lord went into the 12th house of isolation, of death, of losses. And I lost my father just now, And my spouse traveled, from France, because we are based in France, traveled from France for like almost 3 months, visiting different countries, around Europe. Meaning that again is the seventh lord going into the 12th house of foreign places, of isolation. And because he's a researcher, so he was like in isolated places even within those countries. So it is highly important that you check your lords, like the lord of your seventh house. Well, in this channel, of course, we're focusing on relationships, but then this is something you could do for your other parts of your life, which are not mostly our focus, right? We're focusing just mostly on the seventh house. I mean, we could talk about other things, because you guys, most of you, when you send me your when you make your order, you also ask me personal questions, which I do answer, because I'm able to analyze and predict for people regarding career, regarding life things. But that's not what I like to focus on. My focus, my speciality is relationships. So, but anyway, my advice for today, my message for today: look at your seventh house lord, identify who it is. And again, now it's gonna be a problem, of course, because we're using different methods in this channel, because I mix, right? So I have Vedic love lovers, I have tropical love lovers, so I have everyone here. But then it's gonna be a bit different now, because mostly for the tropical lovers, they're gonna have a different seventh lord than I would identify in their chart. So again, maybe, you know, the results are not the same, but then this is also an opportunity for you guys to really know yourselves and know your chart by looking at your seventh house lord and see if it relates to your daily life regarding your spouse. And then if it's not, then you can shift to the correct chart or correct method that is really identifying your spouse and their behavior. Guys, seriously, astrology can help us check our lives on a daily basis. When I say on a daily basis, I mean that. And I just showed you guys an example of how my spouse went to foreign lands because my seventh lord Jupiter was it's transiting my 12th house. So he had no, I don't know, so like it's the planets. He was indicated he would travel to the foreign lands, and that's what happened. And as well as, you know, for my father, because, you know, the 10th house, my father, you know, unfortunately passed on, you know, and left us. And so anyway, so guys, really just check stuff, check your charts. For those whose seventh house is Mercury, right? And this can also help you when, you know, actually for Mars as well and Venus, like for those planets that have a retrogression, you know, when the planets are retrograde, is Jupiter as well, then you can see that, you know, there's certain behaviors that your spouse would do. Maybe they start to talk about the past a lot, or they bring up stuff from the past, or they start to be introverted, you know, obviously depending on the planet, then it will tell you or it will show you how that introversion will come, or, you know, the types of topics they would focus on when they talk about the past or go back to the past and stuff like this, right? And for long moving planets such as Jupiter and Saturn, you know, Ketu and Rahu, for these ones, because they don't move a lot, so I advise you guys to also look at the planets that are affecting your seventh lord at the time. So for example, look at the aspects. So every time maybe the other planets are moving, Sun, Mercury, Mars, see what they're doing to your seventh lord. They are touching it to they are attaching to it, they are aspecting it in a certain way, and then this will also reflect in the behavior of your spouse, right? You know, I found that a lot of people, like in relationships, right, they have this thing of, you know, I don't understand why my spouse is acting this way this week, or why they're acting this way since, you know, at the beginning of summer, the beginning of winter, you know, whichever period, right? You know, and forgetting that there are planetary alignments that are affecting the person at the time. Maybe Mars is squaring, you know, your seventh lord at this time. Maybe, you know, and now they're fighting and they having, you know, conflictuous behavior at this time. And, you know, sometimes maybe they don't want to talk anymore because certain is having a certain aspect to them at this time or this period, you know, within the 2 years. And at times, you know, even Neptune as well could be affecting them at a certain point, particularly if it's moon, you know, being affected by Neptune, or moon being attached to Neptune. Then you see that, oh my gosh, okay, for the past 2 days, your person has been either lying, or they forgetting stuff, or they just having dreams that are that seem to be impossible to reach, or, you know, to make them practical. It was maybe just, you know, that moon was aspecting Neptune at this time. So this is why it's very important to track your seventh lord behavior and the planets that are affecting it. So this is why I advise you guys, make it a daily habit, like make it a monthly habit, weekly habit, as much as you can. So obviously you guys have lives, like real lives, and you could take time to analyze your own chart, the behavior of the planets, and then once you do this, you will be able to form better relationships with your people, and just, or even maybe I'm trying to push out as many requests as possible in terms of analysis, and because it's like holidays, so I am sending out gifts. So I will be putting out some more analysis of celebrities that you've asked for very soon. And for now, I must say thanks, and I'll chat to you soon. I'll be in touch.